How would you feel if you packed your bags, sold your home, and said goodbye to the U.S., hoping for a new life abroad, only to find out you're not welcome there? For decades, U.S. expats have chased dreams of living a great life abroad. But in 2025, many countries are closing their doors against them. Thailand is hitting U.S. expats with exit bans and visa crackdowns. Mexico's immigration officers are showing up unannounced and handing out deportation notices without thinking twice. And even in Costa Rica, U.S. citizens are facing visa denials and resentment from local communities. What is going on? In this video, we'll talk about 6 countries that no longer welcome U.S. expats. These 6 countries are making it nearly impossible for U.S. expats to settle in, and you won't believe why. But before we get right into it, please click that like button and subscribe to this channel, because this is more than just an update. It's an alarming revolution, and you need to hear all of it. Number 1 on our list is Thailand. Thailand has long been a haven for remote workers, retirees, and adventure seekers because of its low cost of living, tropical climate, and tasty street food. But now, in 2025, Thailand's hospitality has hit a wall. The Thai government has started deporting expats who have been abusing tourist and educational visas to stay long-term. Immigration raids are now common, and digital nomads who once breezed through 90 days are now facing exit bans and deny lists. Why is this happening? The Thai government no longer wants the country to be seen as some cheap playground for Westerners. They are prioritizing their new smart visa program, which favors tech entrepreneurs and high-income earners. Americans who were previously living off savings or working remotely are now being forced to leave. Even getting long-term residency is difficult. As a result, U.S. expats constantly have to renew their visa if they want to stay. The thing is, the Thai government is not entirely shutting the doors. They're just making it clear that if you're not bringing value, you're not staying. From Southeast Asia, we now head to Central America to see another country that's saying goodbye to U.S. expats. Number 2, Costa Rica. Costa Rica has long been a peaceful, eco-friendly country that attracts millions of visitors annually. This country consistently ranks as one of the happiest countries in the world because it feels like a second home to any foreigner. The cost of living here, although not the cheapest in Latin America, is still affordable compared to U.S. cities. This is why American retirees, remote workers, and families seeking a new life often relocate here easily, but not anymore. There are big changes. Let's talk about some of them. In 2025, the government slashed its digital nomad visa program after reports of tax evasion and social unrest in local communities. Many U.S. expats were seen as living off the grid, ignoring residency rules, and driving up the cost of living without contributing back to the economy. This resulted in tighter visa rules, higher income thresholds, and in some cases, outright visa denials. U.S. expats are now either forced to comply or leave completely. Those who built homes or businesses without proper registration are at risk of penalties. The community backlash has grown. For some Americans, that once chill paradise now feels like a pressure cooker. Social media expat groups are also filled with frustration. Americans who've lived in Costa Rica for 5, even 10 years are now being asked to reprove income levels, resubmit documentation, and meet new thresholds just to remain in the country. Costa Rica still welcomes tourists, but for many American expats, the tides are changing. From Costa Rica, let's go down to the Atlantic, to a country that enticed American expats for years, but now is sending them packing. Number 3, Italy. Italy has lured many American expats with its timeless beauty, cuisine, and culture. Did you know that Italy's elective residency visa allows Americans and other non-EU citizens to reside in the country long-term without employment? As long as you could show proof of passive income or savings, you were allowed to stay. That policy, combined with the welcoming vibe of many Italian communities, made Italy a top destination for Americans eager to start a new chapter. However, 2025 came with rules that completely changed everything. What happened? And why did this welcoming environment flip so fast? Well, Italy has raised the income requirements for long-term residency. The minimum annual income requirement for a single applicant is now 31,000 euros. This makes it almost impossible for fixed-income expats to qualify. Additionally, U.S. citizens also face scrutiny over health insurance, property taxes, and rental agreements. The reason for this change is not far-fetched. The over-tourism, coupled with the housing crisis in regions like Tuscany and Puglia, triggered the fight back. Local residents have been priced out, and they blame foreigners, especially Americans, for gentrifying their hometowns. As a result, U.S. expats living in Italy on freelance income and modest pensions now find themselves pushed to the margin. Some are being asked to leave, while others are relocating to less popular and less connected areas. Real estate buyers from the U.S. are also discovering that owning a home doesn't guarantee residency. Italian tax authorities are now working more closely with immigration officials to ensure that foreigners paying property taxes are also in compliance with immigration law and health insurance obligations. Italy also quietly introduced digital income audits targeting expats working remotely while claiming non-taxable foreign income. Now, if you're living more than 183 days in Italy, even on foreign income, you may be subject to taxation under new cross-border digital freelancer rules. Several Americans have been fined or denied renewals for failing to disclose their online earnings. Even visa support agencies are under fire. Over 30 have been fined or closed for selling easy residency packages to Americans without warning them about the real compliance risks. The days of breezing in with a wine glass and a Pinterest dream are over. Italy is choosing who stays and who leaves, and American expats are caught in the crossfire. The next country on this list would surprise you because no one saw it coming. Number 4, Hungary. Hungary is probably one of the most unexpected names on this list. Over the last decade, U.S. citizens, especially young professionals, freelancers, and retirees, flocked to Hungary to enjoy a European lifestyle without paying Paris or Rome prices. For many, Hungary was also a smart gateway to Europe. Thanks to its central location, expats could easily explore Austria, Slovakia, and the Balkans. It became a quiet hub for remote workers, educators, students, and those just seeking a slower pace of life in a culturally rich environment. Well, all that was until something happened. Over the past few years, Hungary's nationalist government has clashed with the U.S. on several international policy fronts. Tensions over things like press freedom, politics, and international alliances have seriously soured the vibe between Hungary and the U.S. Following a series of public disagreements, Hungary has quietly begun revoking residency permits and delaying visa renewals for American citizens. In some cases, expats already residing legally in the country are being told they must leave within 30 to 60 days. New background checks, additional documentation, and delayed approvals have sent a clear message that U.S. expats are no longer their preferred guests. Now, a lot of Americans in Hungary feel like they're walking on eggshells, doing everything they can to not get their names in the black books of Hungarian authorities. Let's head south to a country that has long felt like a second home to Americans, but has suddenly drawn a red line. Number 5, Mexico. Mexico is a country with over 1.6 million American residents living in cities like San Miguel de Allende, Puerto Vallarta, and Mexico City. Many U.S. citizens have taken advantage of Mexico's generous 180-day tourist visa, using it to live semi-permanently in the country without pursuing formal residency. Others bought homes, started businesses, and just stayed for years without ever sorting out their immigration status. For decades, Mexico tolerated this, and so remote workers, retirees, and entrepreneurs found it easy to blend in and build their lives here. All that has changed. In 2025, Mexico launched a new immigration enforcement campaign targeting Americans living in major cities without proper residency. Why? Well, that is because neighborhoods in Mexico City have seen rent triple in just 4 years, and that was largely fueled by the remote work boom. Now, residency renewals are getting harder, visa violations come with steep fines, and tax cooperation between the U.S. and Mexico has tightened. Some are being deported or asked to pay heavy fines. The days of quietly living in Mexico without paperwork are coming to an end. In places like Tulum and Mérida, locals are demanding zoning restrictions on foreign-owned Airbnb rentals. In San Miguel de Allende, once nicknamed Gringo Disneyland, local councils are discussing caps on foreign home ownership to reduce real estate inflation. Meanwhile, the Mexican federal government is enforcing new tax reform measures to close loopholes that previously allowed Americans to operate unregistered side businesses or rent out properties tax-free. Consequently, some U.S. expats are forced to adapt by hiring immigration lawyers, registering their businesses, applying for formal work permits, and paying local taxes. Others are moving out entirely, opting for countries with easier visa policies like Colombia, Ecuador, or even the Philippines. American expats are feeling the heat and are leaving the kitchen, so to speak. Finally, let's head over to the Caribbean. There we find our number 6 country, Belize. Belize is an English-speaking Caribbean jewel known for its relaxed lifestyle, its turquoise water, and jungle retreats. This country has been a well-kept secret among U.S. expats looking for a peaceful, English-speaking destination that doesn't require giving up too many comforts of home. There is no language barrier, no currency conversion headaches, and also low taxes. Additionally, the Belize Retired Persons Incentive Program, QRP, allowed foreigners 45 and older to live in Belize tax-free on qualifying retirement income. But now, Belize is cracking down on expats who use the country as a tax shelter or an off-grid escape. What's going on? First, the change is part of a campaign by the Belizean government to shake off its reputation as a tax haven and also bring its financial systems in line with global standards. But that's not all. Local Belizeans have voiced their concerns over what they call expat colonization in towns like Placentia, San Pedro, and Corozal. This is due to the fact that many U.S. citizens have purchased large swathes of land, often pushing out locals through inflated property prices and exclusive developments. Many of these Americans, especially from North America, have been accused of living under the radar, running Airbnb-style rentals, online businesses, or investment portfolios without paying local taxes or contributing to the economy. As a result, the new rules require proof of full-time residency, financial disclosure, and regular tax filings. So there you have it. 6 countries are shutting their doors on Americans. Now, American passports no longer guarantee easy access or a warm welcome. Expats must do more than just show up. They have to contribute to the economy, respect local systems, and play by the rules. The whole story has completely changed. Moving abroad is no longer an escape. You either play the game or you leave the room entirely. So if you're planning to move abroad in 2025, you need to do your research before packing your bags. Never assume you'll be welcomed just because you're American. Let us know in the comments. Which country do you think is overdoing it? Don't forget to hit like and subscribe until we come your way with more shocking travel updates. Stay safe.